So we've just finished putting away the Watkins collection. And this is why we don't buy dies. We just buy hubs. As you can see, this is kind of ridiculous. Let me show you. We've gone down the hallway too. We had to put a shelf up in here, but it's all put away. Everything's put away. So that's pretty cool. Una did it. We've been hauling these things for days. Yeah, take a look. It's like, I don't know what that is. Little grapes or something, birds. Yeah, it's a really great collection. The stuff's really beautiful. I'm very, very happy. Because when we bought it, I didn't see too many pictures. Well, I saw 4 pictures. So it was kind of a... Sometimes you could end up with a whole bunch of that. Like, I don't even know what that is. But we didn't throw it away. Ooh, check out the bugs. We have an amazing collection of bugs. And wings. Stuff's just amazing. And then there's just weird things. Like, I have no clue what that is. There's a lot of stuff. Some of it's great. But you don't get to pick when you get this stuff. You just take what you can get. So let's go sit in here real quick, and I'll show you what we're doing. So there was some drama. Actually, my head almost exploded when people, I cannot produce this stuff as fast as people need it. I mean, I say need, no one needs these things. But we literally can't make it that quickly. What you're looking at here is thousands of lifetimes of people's work. This isn't one guy who made all this in his lifetime. This is thousands of tool and die makers. We've literally gathered up most of the past 150 years of jewelry history between the United States, mostly the United States, all out of Providence and Newark, New Jersey, and Attleboro. This is a bulk of it, and you figure that entire industry, it's all gone. There's like 2 companies left, and they have like 3 people at them. They're not. This isn't growing, and it's kind of on the way down as 3D printing takes over and everything else. And here we have Una, our tool and die maker. So we have been training Una, because she has great hand and eye coordination and dexterity, and patience, and patience. Lots and lots of patience. And so she and me, we have to make copies of this stuff. We can't just, the original stuff, you just can't do that with it. It's not designed to be used repeatedly. It was designed to be used one time. Like, that's a pretty cool fish. It's funny, I look at this stuff and I'm constantly amazed at what's here. Some of it's just gorgeous. But we can make all this stuff here on the wall and reproduce it, but it takes time. And I know, like, for the FSS dies in particular, it's the same problem. Everybody who can, like, we need a person who can draw CAD and set up a CNC milling machine and a laser. And those skills are really, really in demand. And they're all in demand at the bomb factory here in Tucson. So they make missiles, and they need people who can run CNC machines. So I have to compete directly with a major defense contractor for employees. So we all know how that's going to work out. I'm not going to get, it's not going to happen. We're not going to get these people to come work here. So we have to train everybody in-house to do these jobs. Those are cool letters. And if, no one's running away from, you know, a six-figure job at a defense contractor to come make jewelry tools. So we train everybody in-house, and it takes a lot of time. It takes years. And then we hope they stay with us, because we recently lost one. And yeah, people don't always, it's not their dream to make pretty ladies with wings. I can't imagine why not. But yeah, so it's difficult. But I apologize for not getting stuff out faster to you guys. It's really, you know, I thought making one a week was a pretty good pace, but we can try to increase it. It's just that it takes a lot of time to make them. That's why they're more expensive than pancake dies. The pancake dies, those are pretty easy to make. But FSS dies require 3 steps. We have to laser cut them, CNC machine them, then we have to TIG weld them together. Then there's 4 steps. Then we have to make the urethane parts, and then we have to assemble them. So they take a lot of time, and I don't have unlimited amount of employees to just sit and make FSS dies all day. We're trying to make them as fast as we can because I think that's a great product, and we kind of set a goal of 1 new design per week. And I hope, you know, we can try to get more out. We really can. But at a certain point, there's just only so many hours in the day, and I only have so many people. Well, that one's cool. That's actually a pretty famous piece, that dragon. Let's see, here's a cat. Is it a cat? It's funny. This is why we show hubs, because you look at this and you go, what is that? Oh, here's a smaller wing. I think I've shown that lion before. He's pretty awesome. But yeah, so that is the problem with our business model. When this stuff was being produced that you see here, this was a major industry in the United States. There's another dragon. This all came out of Providence, Rhode Island, and they were the largest ornamental tool manufacturing area in the world. And so they produced thousands of tool and die makers for doing this type of work. But that was over 100 years ago. So like one of the last that we've talked to, Lawrence, and he's nearly 100 years old. And he remembers how this stuff was done, but a person who's 100 who retired, well, he actually worked well into his 80s, and I think he almost worked into his 90s. But you know, there wasn't, the reason he was working into his 90s is because there was no one behind him to train. Nobody was like lining up to say, I want to make pretty flowers the rest of my life, or I want to make little dragons. It just wasn't, it's just not happening. And the same problem's happening in the jewelry world. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I put all the cool, or the stuff that I thought was cool, I put it at eye level. But yeah, so trying to find people who want to do this. And I mean, imagine if, you know, your son or daughter said, I think I want to be an ornamental tool and die maker. Well, there's not exactly any jobs for it. There's us. there's literally us. So it's not like there's a shortage. There's just no demand anymore is the problem. This whole industry is pretty much, I mean, it would be like, I like to joke around that, oh, there's a thistle. Look at that thistle. And a matching pair of earring thistles. But I like to joke around that we are the rerun channel. And we're basically replaying the greatest hits of the past 150 years. Ooh, look at that one. That one's kind of neat. Sorry that my camera's not super focusing. Wow, that one's good too. But yeah, there's just not, this isn't a growth industry. I mean, we're really tiny. we are really tiny, and we've basically just been collecting all this old stuff and making it available. Yep. I think it's the Elks Club. That's kind of neat. Little dragon. There's another lion. But yeah, we've basically just been replaying the past 150 years. So we'll keep doing it. And oh wow, look at that one. That one's pretty good. Yeah, I like to look at oh, there's another one. I got two. Are they the same? Nope. One's got diamonds in the wings, one's doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, so we're trying to train people, and there has to be a future for them too, though, because you don't want to train somebody for a job that doesn't exist. I remember when I was in high school, I was one of the last, actually I was the last class to take machine shop. And the reason they stopped it is because there were no jobs for machinists. And there's still not a zillion of them. There's jobs for machine operators, but as far as a person who can run manual equipment, I mean, they could quickly fill the need with just, I mean, I don't know. I see a lot of people asking for people, but yeah, it's kind of neat to see these. What else we got here? A little burrow. Go up here. Yeah. Oh, what is that? It's a little dragon thing. But yeah, so I got a ladder coming. One of those antique Putnam ladders. And we're going to be able to go all the way to the top of this. Because we need to. I don't know. A MacArthur Fellowship? I don't know. I think that's stretching it. Those go to important artists. I don't think we're, I don't know if we would rank in the realm of important artists. There's some pretty major people who've received MacArthur Fellowships, but I appreciate it. Yeah, the thought. But yeah, God, that's amazing. Look at that. That is amazing. Oh, that's a good one too. I think sometimes it's just fun to look at these. It basically, this entire collection is from probably pre-1930s. There's another one. Most of it is probably pre-1930s, and that's about. And what's interesting, when these collections were made, this is fashion stuff. So take a look at that. So you've got your Art Nouveau, swirly Victorian, right next to something changing into Art Deco. That's kind of when it ended. A lot of this stuff, it doesn't last long. It's just a trend, and these things just didn't get thrown away or recycled. Nowadays, they just recycle everything, so things just don't stick around. So we're really lucky that these things stuck around, even though there's, I've got this huge drawer full of. Let me show you. It's a massive collection, and they're not ready yet. I'm hoping that somebody will be happy in about, I think it's going to be 50 years. I think it's going to be 50 years. Someone's going to be going, wow, we are so glad that Kevin saved all these hoop earrings. I know some of you guys like them because you grew up with these things and you wore them, but the reality is, yeah, this stuff is goofy looking right now. It is goofy looking. And it looks the same way Art Deco looked probably by the 1950s. Very dated. So someone just has to sit on it long enough for it to become exciting again. And to me, this stuff looks horrible. But I knew that someday, I'm just doing my part to make sure that the record of New Jersey is not lost. This is all, you know, how could you not? Who wouldn't want a Buddha made in New Jersey? That's the back of the Buddha. I mean, this is classy stuff. And same with all this. This just isn't there yet. But it will be. It will be. It's just going to take some time. This is some of the last die struck stuff. This stuff is fairly new. It's got to age yet. I don't know if it's going to age like fine wine. I won't be alive to see it. But maybe this spider web thing will be as exciting to me as like an Art Nouveau woman with bat wings or something. You know, maybe this will be as exciting to somebody in 50 years. They'll be like, it's so 80s. Yeah. But what else we got here? We've got our, oh yeah, you can just see that 1990s, 2000s tattoo. Basically what that is. So someday this stuff is going to be exciting, but it's not there yet. I mean, you look at something from Larder and Sons, and you look at this, and it just all of a sudden it looks so much more elegant. But there was a time when this stuff was cheesy, and it wasn't that long ago. It was probably by the 80s. A lot of this stuff was getting scrapped and melted. So it just needs to age. This stuff is, I think this stuff is prime time right now for me. I love this stuff. The 1940s, I don't think it's there yet. And the 50s, some of this stuff is up to the 1950s. This is Whiting and Davis. And some of this is early Victorian, and that stuff's, you know, like fine wine. Like, check out these match safes. These are great. But there's some goofy stuff in here that's like 1940s and 50s. The early 40s stuff, I don't know, not a fan. Not a fan. We have some of it. It's big and goofy. Same with the 50s and the 60s. It's just too new. This is nice. Look at this. This is Victorian. This is turn of the century. That's pretty early. And you can see how it was made. It was made on a planer. By the way, see the straight lines? So this is pre-milling machine. It's a pretty early piece. Very interesting. Of course, we have the hand engraved piece. This thing's busted, but it's, take a look at that. Glad they didn't toss it, because there's a zillion hours into these things. Just a ton of time. This one is really beautiful. I love this one. There's one down here that's just amazing. Let me find it. Bear with me, it's worth looking at. It's pretty cool. And look at, these are all ring tops for holding stones. There's a tail of the snake. This company was real famous for making snake jewelry. There's all little snake heads and stuff. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Yep. That, as far as cases go, this is pretty amazing. So this was done in gold, and it was all enameled. That is amazing. Just a plain one. Maybe we'll make a few of these plain ones. We'll give it a whirl. Something maybe this size is doable for you guys. This isn't too big. But, so yeah. What else do we have in here that's kind of neat? So what these are, this room is all hubs. These are all male dies. It's called a hub. So all this is male dies, and they're all by company that made them. So we try to keep everything segregated. That way it doesn't get lost. This is all Foster and Bailey. So they made Lots of neat stuff. So this is probably 50s, I think. It's kind of, yeah, it's hard to say, but it's kind of goofy. I'll find some goofy stuff in here. There's a bunch. Oh, cool. Looks like it's lunchtime, guys. Look at this. That's for setting diamonds in it. This is crazy. I've been dying to try this, but I just don't know if I got it in me to attempt to do that. Here we go. 1950s. There we go. That's just horrible. That's a recreation. That's like 1950s. That's just awful. Some of this stuff is... But we're saving it all, and we're holding on to it, and eventually it will have its day in the sun again. Someone's going to think it's awesome. This is these are watch cases. Came in with a collection of stuff. But yeah, eventually. This is all German stuff. These are all prong settings. Yeah, so when you look at this stuff, I know that sometimes people think we could just randomly make whatever, as much of it as we want, but we just can't. I wish I could. I really do. But the demand really isn't there for to turn our company into something. We're not a big company, and it's not there. We just go bankrupt is all we do. Is if I tried to hire dozens of more people to make dyes so that we could produce endless quantities of it, we would just go broke. It wouldn't pay off. So we're small, and we're going to stay small, other than hoarding dyes. But I think there's a threshold being reached at this point. I've been told that maybe we've reached some sort. I kind of feel like we've reached some sort of a limit on how much more stuff we can really bring in. It's going to have to be something amazing at this point for us to attempt to pack more in here. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go get some lunch, and thanks for watching. Oh yeah, we have a ton of stuff for pearls, an absolute ton, and we will try to get it put up. It just takes time. Thanks, guys.